The sun was sinking low over the dusty plains when the cowboy, rugged and weathered from years on the trail, heard a faint sound drifting from an old, abandoned shed at the edge of his land. At first, he thought it might be the wind whistling through broken boards, but as he drew closer, he caught the unmistakable cry of a child. His boots crunched against the earth as he pushed open the creaking door, and what he found inside nearly broke his hardened heart. A woman, her dress torn and face pale with exhaustion, sat in the shadows with 4 thin children clinging to her side. Heavy chains shackled their wrists, binding them cruelly to the wall, like they were nothing more than prisoners. The cowboy's hand instinctively went to his revolver, though there was no enemy in sight, just the raw truth of human suffering. "Mom," he said gently, kneeling before them, "you don't belong in chains. Neither do your little ones." Her eyes filled with tears as she explained between broken breaths how her husband had died in a cruel accident, how the land had been stolen from her, and how cruel men had locked her away, with her children to punish her for debts she could never repay. The cowboy felt a fire rise inside him, the kind of righteous anger only a man of honor can hold. With one swift motion, he pulled a small hatchet from his belt and smashed through the iron restraints until the chains fell clattering to the dirt. The children stared at him wide-eyed, their gaunt faces reflecting both fear and hope, and the widow held her youngest close, whispering prayers of gratitude. The cowboy didn't waste a second. He gathered the family into his strong arms, ushering them out of the darkness and into the fresh air of freedom. He lifted the smallest child onto his horse, helped the others climb aboard, and walked beside them as the horse carried the fragile family back to his ranch. The ride was long, but the cowboy never once complained, his boots pounding the trail, his heart pounding with a newfound sense of duty. When they arrived, he brought them straight into his home, the smell of warm bread and stew filling the air. "Sit down," he told them, his voice firm but kind. "Tonight you eat as my family. From this day forward you are not chained. You are not forgotten. You are mine to protect." He set steaming plates before them, and the children ate like they had not tasted food in days, tears running down their faces as their bellies finally found comfort. The widow, still trembling, looked at him with a mixture of gratitude and disbelief. "Why would you do this for us?" she asked, her voice almost a whisper. The cowboy leaned back in his chair, the firelight casting a glow over his rugged features, and he said simply, "Because no soul deserves to be caged in this world, especially not a mother and her children. You've lost enough. From now on, you've got a home here." The room fell quiet, except for the crackling fire and the sound of children eating heartily, their eyes shining for the first time in a long while. That night, the cowboy made a promise to himself. He would raise those children as if they were his own blood, teach them to ride, to work the land, to live with honor and dignity. He would show them that kindness still existed in a world that had been cruel to them. And to the widow, he would offer respect, compassion, and the steady hand of a man who kept his word. As dawn broke the next morning, the ranch was alive with laughter, the sound of children chasing each other in the yard, the widow smiling faintly as she watched them play, and the cowboy standing tall on the porch, knowing deep down that he had not only rescued them, but also saved himself from a lonely life. This was not just a rescue, it was the beginning of a new family, one forged not by blood, but by love, courage, and the unshakable bond of humanity. Friends, if this story touched your heart, remember that in life we all have the power to be someone's cowboy, to step in when they are lost, to lift the chains that weigh them down, and to feed them not just with food, but with hope. Don't let this story end here. Help it ride further by subscribing to this channel. Every click, every share, every subscription keeps stories like this alive, reaching hearts across the world. So hit that subscribe button now and join us in spreading courage, kindness, and the belief that no matter how dark the shed, there is always a cowboy ready to bring the light.